They had once been just co-stars. Two people brought together by the world of acting, bound by scripts and cameras, and remembered by fans as one of the most iconic on-screen couples in Korean drama history. But what no one expected was that the story would eventually outgrow the screen. That somewhere between rehearsals, red carpets, and endless interviews, Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun would discover a connection that could no longer be contained in the world of make-believe. And now, years later, the whispers have turned into something undeniable. Because according to insiders, the impossible has happened. Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun are no longer just acting out love, they are living it. And in a move that has shocked and stunned fans around the globe, the two reportedly tied the knot in a private, secret wedding that no one saw coming. It began quietly, as most meaningful things do. For weeks, rumors had been circulating that the couple had been spotted together more often than usual. Sometimes leaving late-night dinners, sometimes seen arriving at family homes. The photos were blurry, grainy, always just enough to stir speculation but never enough to confirm anything. Some fans dismissed it as coincidence. Others insisted it was the start of something bigger. But what truly caught attention was when eagle-eyed fans noticed that both Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun had begun wearing rings, delicate, understated bands that seemed almost too intentional to be just accessories. At first, it was brushed off as part of a fashion shoot or brand sponsorship. But when both stars appeared at separate public events, wearing what looked like matching rings, the internet exploded. Still, no one was prepared for the revelation that followed. Sources close to both actors revealed that Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun had held a private wedding ceremony, attended only by their closest family and dearest friends, away from the glare of cameras and headlines. The wedding, it was said, took place in an intimate garden venue just outside of Seoul, under the soft glow of lanterns and surrounded by blossoms. There were no paparazzi, no flashing lights, no media frenzy. Just two people choosing each other. It was, in every sense, the exact opposite of the grand public weddings fans might have imagined. And yet it was perfect. Those who attended described the ceremony as deeply emotional. Lee Min-ho, often admired for his charisma and calm confidence, reportedly couldn't hold back tears when he saw Kim Go-eun walking toward him. She was dressed in an elegant understated gown, simple yet breathtaking, the kind of beauty that didn't need to scream for attention because it already owned the room. Guests said his voice cracked slightly as he spoke his vows, his hands trembling as he promised to love, cherish, and protect her for the rest of his life. Kim Go-eun, too, was said to have struggled to keep her composure. Her eyes glistened as she held his hands, her smile warm but unsteady as she whispered words that only he could hear. It wasn't the kind of ceremony built for spectacle. It was built for sincerity. And those who saw it said it was unlike anything else. Raw, real, unforgettable. For fans, the news of this secret wedding felt almost surreal. Across social media, disbelief turned into euphoria. Is this real life? One fan wrote. We've been dreaming of this for years, and now it actually happened? Another added, they kept it private, and that makes it even more special. This is love, not publicity. The truth is, Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun had always shared a bond that fans could sense but couldn't define. Back during the height of their drama together, the chemistry between them was electric. The way he looked at her, the way she smiled at him, it went beyond acting. Even in behind-the-scenes footage, their connection seemed effortless, natural, undeniable. But like all celebrities, they faced the heavy burden of public scrutiny. Every glance was analyzed. Every word dissected. To love openly was to invite criticism, gossip, and endless speculation. And so, if the reports are true, they chose to love quietly instead. They chose to protect their relationship, nurturing it in private until it grew strong enough to withstand the outside world. And perhaps that is what makes this story so remarkable. Because in a world obsessed with exposure, with a constant demand for updates, photos, and proof, Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun managed to hold something sacred. They managed to write their love story in silence, and when the moment was right, they sealed it with vows that no camera captured. Vows meant only for each other. In the days following the news, fans began piecing together moments from the past that now seemed to hold new meaning. The way Lee Min-ho once casually referred to Kim Go-eun as someone who understood him better than most. The way she once described him as a person with a warm heart that people don't always see. Even small interactions at award shows, where their eyes seemed to linger just a moment longer than necessary. Looking back, fans realized that the signs had been there all along. Industry insiders say the couple plans to continue working on their respective careers but will remain protective of their private life. Neither has issued an official statement yet, and perhaps they never will. But maybe they don't need to. Because sometimes, love doesn't need to be shouted from the rooftops to be real. Sometimes it only needs to be lived, quietly, honestly, together. What makes this revelation so moving is not just that Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun married, but how they chose to do it. They could have turned it into a media spectacle. They could have capitalized on the headlines. But instead, they chose intimacy over grandeur. They chose sincerity over spectacle. They chose love over noise. And in doing so, they reminded everyone watching that the most beautiful stories are not always the ones played out on screens. Sometimes, they are the ones lived off camera, away from scripts and stage lights, in the quiet corners of real life. Fans will continue to celebrate them, to cheer for their happiness, to relive the moments that hinted at this love long before it was confirmed. But at the heart of it all, the story belongs to them. Two people who found something rare in a world that rarely allows it. From drama to reality, from co-stars to soulmates, from whispered rumors to whispered vows. Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun have written a love story that is not only theirs but also a gift to everyone who has ever believed in love that survives the spotlight. And as fans around the world continue to share their joy, one thing is clear. The world may have fallen in love with them as characters on a screen. Even after the whispers of their secret wedding spread like wildfire, Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun themselves remained silent. No public confirmations. No carefully worded press statements. No flashy posts or dramatic announcements. And yet, silence spoke louder than words. Because while agencies scrambled to deny or redirect the attention, and while reporters speculated endlessly, the couple's absence from the conversation seemed to confirm everything fans already believed. They weren't interested in fueling gossip. They weren't interested in making headlines. They were simply living their truth. Together. Insiders claim that after their private ceremony, the newlyweds spent time away from Seoul, retreating to a quiet coastal town where the ocean stretched endlessly and the world felt far away. There, they reportedly walked hand in hand by the water, unguarded, unbothered, as if they were just any other couple in love. One witness, a local shop owner, said they were almost unrecognizable, dressed in casual clothes, hair messy from the sea breeze, laughing like teenagers discovering love for the first time. They weren't actors, they weren't celebrities, the shop owner recalled softly.